Good morning, Salome B here, and today I want to talk about a young lady, Christina Treadway, and Christina Treadway. And here's the Fox, North Carolina News, and I'm gonna come back with my commentary after the clip.
They were loved so very much in life, and they're loved so very much in death also.
That's the quivering voice of an emotional mother and grandmother, still searching for answers why her daughter would take her own life and those of her two beautiful kids.
Our daughter has never shown any signs of being depressed. I want people to know that she was a loving mother, that she would not have done this if she wasn't so trapped and so alone.
90% of people who die by suicide have a mental health condition.
This story hitting close to home for Fonda Bryant, a mental health advocate who works for the National Alliance of Mental Health.
This impacted me because when I woke up and read the story, I cried because I could see her, and I just wish I could have held her hand and told her it's okay not to be okay.
Bryant went through a severe case of mental depression years ago. She knows the stigma surrounding mental health issues and says there are services here in Mecklenburg County that can help someone showing signs of depression, and all it takes is a call from a family member or friend.
That CIT officer is a little bit different than a regular police officer because they have been trained 40 hours in mental health and addiction. You can request one, they will come out. They are trained to de-escalate if somebody's in a crisis. If they have to take someone to a mental health facility, they will.
Patricia and her family offer their condolences to the Miller family. Everyone involved still hurting from this tragedy.
We are grieving too. We've lost 3, just like they lost 2. It doesn't make it any less because they're her grandchildren or his kids. They were our grandchildren too.
Brandon Smith, Fox 40.
All right, I'm back. Now, after seeing the clip, you saw where the mental illness advocate stated that anyone who commits suicide had a mental illness prior to committing suicide. Now, Christina was 34 years old. She's from Charlotte, North Carolina, Mecklenburg. And she killed her 2 children. Her mother says she never showed signs of depression. There's not one picture that I saw where the father is present. Now that's a red flag to me. All these pictures that flooded the internet, I've never seen the father with the children. He wasn't even at home. Now, as I said, Christina had a mental illness. Anybody who commits a self-destructive act such as suicide has a mental illness. Self-harm is included with heavy amounts of drug use, alcohol use. In large amount is self-destructive. Now, I found a study, and it was done by a J. Richards Artie, PhD, and Rosemarie L. I, PhD, and Janet Henderson Smith of MA. And the study compared the health and risk status of adolescents who identify with one race, and they compared them with those who identify with more than one race. And they found some odd evidence. They found that adolescents who self-identified as more than one race are at higher health and behavior risks. Their explanation for the higher risk in mixed race adults for health issues and mental health issues They struggle with identity formation. Let's say that again. They struggle with identity formation. And having to identify with more than one race indicates stressful, stress, a hike in stress. That's what I want to say. Now, the parents and the mother says that they did not see the signs, but I want to say from a personal aspect, depression creeps up on you, especially if you're a workaholic and you work all the time, and then you're trying to be the perfect mother, being up 24/7, running errands and trying to make sure that your kids are happy or seem as if they are very happy, and you're at their beck and call every 5 minutes trying to be the perfect mom. This is where depression can seep in too, because you're trying to be the perfect mother. There are no perfect mothers. There never will be. Okay? And when you don't take a break, depression will creep up on you. And the fact that Mrs. Treadway probably could not voice how she felt inside because she probably didn't know the feelings. Because depression gives you a type of emptiness. It makes you feel like you are invisible. It makes you feel like a dark cloud is on you all the time. And the first signs of a depression is exhaustion. Always exhausted, always sleeping, always tired. Always thinking about what needs to be done and trying to keep up this perfection as, like I said, the perfect mom, and her mother kept saying that she's a good mother. That's another prop for a person who is suffering from depression, if they're trying to be the perfect mother. So here's two reasons why this lady is suffering from some type of mental illness, which is her self-identity. And her self-identity dealing with one or two races, having to form that identity and having to explain who she is, or not even knowing who she is. That's one factor. The other factor is trying to be the perfect mother. There is no such thing as a perfect mother. It never will be. And if you don't take a break from your children, depression is surely going to creep in as well. And if the father is nowhere, this is where I see another red flag. The father is nowhere in none of these pictures. This lady's taking so many pictures with these beautiful kids, and the father is nowhere to be found. I don't even see him in the picture. Was he even a part of their lives? Because he's not even in one picture. And he came out with a statement saying that, he loved his kids and he set up a GoFundMe. But he's not even in the picture nowhere. Nowhere to be found in these pictures. So, I'm just trying to make sense of the situation. And personally, going through mental health issues as far as dealing with depression, one thing that I saw myself doing was trying to be the perfect mother. Trying to be the perfect mother. And I know good and well that I'm a human being. We're here to gain perfection, not to be perfect. Trying to be perfect is a little controlled experiment with yourself, and you're never going to find perfection in yourself because you're not meant to be perfect as a human. You're not God. So trying to be anything perfect is nothing but an illusion. And for this young lady, she had to have been suffering from this stuff for a while. And the fact that she is dealing with identity issues, and I know that they're there because most biracial people have to deal with this. This is what the study is saying, that compared to a person that only has to deal with one race, anyone who has to deal with more than one race has a higher percentage of becoming stressed out or mentally ill or self-destructive because they have a problem with forming identity. They struggle with identity formation. And that's another problem. So this lady might have had two problems: trying to be perfect and trying to figure out who she was, and dealing with two races and trying to identify and find herself. It was probably hard in separating the two. So long, B. Have a nice day.